Hello dear Zhineng Qigong community. I'm Bree, a fellow practitioner and teacher of this wonderful art. I'm going to be hosting regular online sessions of training the paranormal ability. For the past several years, I've dedicated a segment of my daily Zhineng practice to training the paranormal abilities within myself, following the teachings of Dr. Pang. And what I've gained in doing this is something that really needs to be experienced for oneself. It sparks a whole new level of admiration and interest for life. What seems to be the key is consistency in practice. Let's say you commit 30 minutes every Monday, every Wednesday. But Monday comes and you're not feeling in a good state, and so you skip practice. Wednesday comes, you've got the flu, so you don't practice. Seriously, don't wait for optimal conditions to practice. Don't only practice when you're already in a good state. It really isn't about being successful in the experiment. It's about cultivating the capacity to get into the special paranormal state. And if we only practice when we're already in a good state, we're not really developing that capacity to come into that state at will. And this special state has a really incredible healing effect over the body. You'll be practicing your experiments, whether you have success or not is regardless. In this state of deep concentration, blockages leave the body. I'm describing something a bit different to the methods of lift chi up, pour chi down, body mind, where the attention is for that purpose. It's a strange phenomenon, and I've also heard one of the senior researchers of the Xi'an Center, the senior Paranormal Abilities researchers, talk about this phenomena, that you're bending a spoon but the tumor disappears, for example, because of the quality of state. Actually, Dr. Pang says, if you want to get good at healing, practice small paranormal abilities experiments so you can learn to penetrate the mind deeply. Practice of small methods of paranormal ability experiments improves the clarity and purity of Yi Yuan Ti. They work on Yishi's ability to control the body and Qi and improve its ability to receive information. What I share on YouTube with progress and success that I've had with experiments is to help open minds that don't even consider a reality beyond the physical senses, and to support others that are on this path. And they're only the highlights. A lot of training in paranormal abilities doesn't seem, from an onlooker, doesn't seem like there's much going on, may seem quite uneventful. However, there's a wealth of learning going on just in the training, even when you don't have success. Learning to guide Qi in this way, learning to develop a deeper focus in a way where you're getting feedback from external reality, really takes your practice to a whole new level, and your sense of reality really has the capacity to show you in front of you your mental reference framework and where it's getting stuck. Now, as we know in Zhineng science, when hearts and minds come together in a single-minded intention, the impact is more powerful, the technology of the Qi field. So I've been meeting online with a fellow Zhineng teacher, and we have been having an incredible time, fun, fascinating, insightful, inspiring, practicing our paranormal abilities together. Even without success, which is a lot of the time is the training, it is always insightful. always inspiring. And practicing in a group is a lot of fun. So I'm going to provide the time and space for Zhineng practitioners to practice their paranormal abilities together, sharing and supporting with all I've learned and am learning. We will have a private Facebook group, place to connect, share, encourage on this journey together. I think this group will be most suited to other Zhineng teachers. It is an advanced practice, and deep understanding of the theory will be highly advantageous. However, having completed teacher training is not a requirement to join the group. Just that you do have your physical Zhineng daily practice. As Dr. Pang says, your physical practice is what builds the Qi and Shen, and they all support one another. So if you would like to join this dedicated long-term group, I will hold training sessions 9:30 a.m. Sydney Australian time, Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. All you need to do is send me a message and I will follow up with you, providing you with a link so you can set up a reoccurring weekly transfer of 12 Australian dollars per week to join us once a week. To join us twice a week, 22 Australian dollars. To join us 3 times a week, also 22 Australian dollars. That's to encourage you to train more. Reoccurring transaction 1 week in advance. I'll send you the Zoom link and the Facebook group link. For those of you residing in places where the time zone may completely not work, send me a message. If there's several that are willing to join, but that's the situation, I will also provide 3 times available at 7:30 p.m. Sydney Australian time. Possibly the same Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we'll check the days depending on the interest. For those of you residing in countries where the currency is much weaker than the Australian dollar and it prevents you from joining, send me a message and we see what we can do. I think it's very important working in a global community that we don't only make things available to people living in places where the currency is strong. I leave with Dr. Pang's quote, "Paranormal abilities are a natural function of the true self. Paranormal abilities know no boundaries and range from the micro to the macro worlds. There is no distinction between difficult and easy. That is just a judgment of the mental reference system." I look forward to practicing with you. Howla.